Hey folks, let's talk publisher for an internet source. So we can see our scoring criteria, and obviously the best options are for a source to be published by an academic publisher. But what do we do if we know right away that it's not an academic publisher, right? Most of our internet sources that we find are not going to be academic publishers. So in that case, we're going to be hoping for a 2. So a 2 would be that the source is published by a known organization, a university website, a reputable publishing house, or a credible magazine or newspaper. So let's take a look at this article. Study links college students' grades to sleep schedules. If you watch the videos about author, you know that we already evaluated Victoria, and we thought she was at least a 2, maybe a 3 for author. Now let's take a look at publisher. So this is published in CNN, which you can tell because it tells you at the beginning of the article, but also because we see it up here at the top. So I will go ahead and I will click into CNN. This will not give us a ton of information. It'll just show us what's on the main page. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom to where we can find About CNN. Okay, I'm going to click on that. CNN worldwide is the most honored brand in cable news, reaching more individuals on television and online than any other cable news organization in the U.S. Okay, so their mission is to inform, engage, and empower the world. We are truth seekers and storytellers. We are journalists, designers, and technologists united by a mission to inform, engage, and empower the world. All right, so it all sounds very nice so far, right? They're here to inform, so if we're already thinking ahead to purpose, right, the purpose might be to inform, which is a 2, so just a little tip. However, we need to figure out if it is published by a credible magazine or newspaper, right? This is a newspaper, so we're trying to figure out if they are credible. And how can we do that? We can see what they say. They're very proud of themselves. They think they're awesome. We can also look and see what other people say, right? So one place I really like to look at is called Media Bias Fact Check. You can just Google them and find that. And you can actually just search the name of a media source in their little gray search box at the top, and when you do that, here's the information about them. It kind of gives you a rundown on the bias and credibility of that news source or news organization. Looks like they are considered left center with mostly factual reporting. So that's good information to keep in mind. If they're mostly factual, you want it to be mostly factual to very high, right? For it to be considered credible, right? Anything below that I would not consider credible. So we can see here that it is moderately left-center biased, and then they explain that, and they say they are mostly factual in reporting rather than high because there were 2 failed fact checks in the last 5 years. So that's helpful to know. 2 failed fact checks in 5 years, that's not too bad. I would love for it to be 0, but we all know that that's not necessarily always true of media organizations. So hope this helps. With this in mind, I would likely give them a 2. And if you did not find them credible, I would give them probably a 1 or a 0.